Oh, wait a second. That was the remix. Hold on, y'all. Hey, y'all. Wait, let me start again. Y'all get warmed up, get hyped up. We coming through. What is good, y'all? What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday, y'all. I'm so sorry that I did not come last week, but I'm here today. And I think even if I'm late, it's better late than never. But I am here today. Hey to everyone. This be the last done. And I am here to give my synopsis for weeks. Well, actually, it should be week 10 and 11. You been watching Taylor Made? Okay. For I'm gonna have to edit this title because it should be 10 and 11 up in this title. But look, Taylor Made, that's why I'm happy that you are here, because I know you just started. Do you see all these black people in this collage right here? And this is the reason why I decided not to come on to show my face today. But I need you to see the countless black people that played this game and got mistreated. The countless black people that played this game and got voted out at the beginning. The countless people. Like, for people who are new to the game, you are really not aware of how many black people have really played this game over the last 23. Yeah, this is season 23. So, since 2000, black people have played this game and have been voted out because they were always outnumbered. They were always in the minority. They were never in the majority, so there was nothing that they could do. That is the reason why the cookout is so powerful, and the reason why the cookout was so powerful this season. A lot of people are upset because, black people decided to take each other to the end. But look at all of these black faces that played this game and never made it past the third or fourth week of the game. That's the thing. This is what you really have to look at. And you got all of these people that didn't. And so it's really good for me. I appreciate the fact that no matter what, this season, a black person will win. A black person will take the crown. A black person will take the cash prize. So I'm good with that. This is going to be my main layout for the duration of this live, because you just have to see. Yeah, look at it, Taylor Made. And for anybody else that's new or watching the replay, yeah, because this whole season people was like, oh, that's reverse racism. How is it reverse racism when all of these black people done played and could not win? Because at that time, many other people who were in the house were not black and voted them out immediately. So that's the thing. Taylor Made said they got other racists mad out here. Yeah, they are mad. When Taylor Made, I apologize for my tardiness. Girl, what I did not know was that the Saints was going to be playing whenever I told you, because I told you between noon and 2. Girl, the Saints started playing at 1. So I didn't want to come on at noon and then rush off of here. And then I didn't want to come on after the fact. But y'all, the Saints are doing very well today. They are playing against the New England Patriots, and it looks like they're about to win the game. So I was watching that game. Yeah, Taylor made my bad. So I was watching that game, but it looked like we got that game up in the bag. So that's why I was like, well, let me go ahead and bring this up to 4 o'clock. So that's what I did. So, okay, let's get into the gameplay. So I'm a week behind, y'all. Only a week. But I do have my branding here that I'm going to put up. So what we saw, y'all, and we're going to talk about the laws of karma, because karma does come back around. It does. It's funny to me how people always in my life, especially on my other channel, I always try to preach to me about karma, but I'm very much aware about karma. But this is one thing that I want to go ahead and show my exhibit here. So this is my exhibit, y'all. So let's go ahead and explain this graph a little bit more. So with this graph right here, last time I spoke with y'all about this, the cookout had made it to the final six. I told y'all that it looked like the guys were trying to turn on the girls, which was facts. And I also told y'all that it looked like Tiffany was the target, which was facts. I also told y'all that there was going to be a double eviction, which was facts. But initially, I was hoping it was going to be a battle back, but it wasn't. So it was a double eviction. So the guys, just in true form and fashion, they took out Tiffany, which is what I already thought that they were going to do. But then in the double, they also took out Hannah. So we got Tiffany and Hannah gone with Azah to fight for her damn self. So y'all, Azah fighting for her damn self. But the one thing I can say that I'm very disappointed in Azah, or at least last week I was. Let me talk chronologically. So last week I was disappointed in Azah because during that double eviction, Azah won the head of household. And instead of Azah targeting one of these dudes to get them out, she targeted Hannah to get Hannah out. So Hannah ended up being voted out on Azah's HOH, which left Azah right there up in the house with 3 dudes. It left her with Xavier, Big D, and Colin. So Azah was left up in there. She was scared, trying to figure out how she was even going to stay afloat up in the game. So then this past week that I did miss to recap to y'all, I knew that they were targeting Kylan. And this is what I mean about karma and why I'm happy about it. Because for whatever reason, Kylan was on this misogynistic, chauvinistic kick to where he preferred to get rid of Hannah and Tiffany instead of getting rid of some of these dudes. He wanted to keep Xavier because he said that he would prefer to go to the end with a big threat. So he kept Xavier around only for him to keep Xavier around. And guess what? Xavier is the reason why Kylan is going to the jury next. So Xavier won the HOH and ended up putting Kylan on the block. It was Kylan and Azah. Xavier made sure that he could win the power of veto so that Kylan could not save himself, and Kylan got voted out. And y'all, this is the crazy thing. Did y'all watch Taylor Made? Well, let me go back to this cookout picture. Taylor Made, did you watch? Oh yeah, I'm a Saints fan, Taylor Made, all day. Who that? All day long. I mean, heck, Taylor Made, even on this particular channel, when you look at my picture, on this channel, that's me up in my Saints jersey. That's me up in my Saints jersey on this channel. Not my other channel, but this one. The Last Done, that's me in my Saints gear. Yeah, I'm definitely an avid Saints fan. Taylor May said, what was he talking about? Oh, so Taylor May, you saw whenever Colin was getting evicted on Thursday night. Taylor May, did you see when Colin was getting evicted and it looked like he was ready to fight Xavier before he left? Did you see that? Was it just me or did you see it? Kylan is somewhat of a sore loser because he put all of his eggs into the basket. Right. He put all his eggs into the basket of Xavier. He really thought that the dudes was just going to do all of this. And that's his bad. He should have trusted Tiffany and Hannah and continued on with them instead of turning on them for Xavier. Because once he got evicted, Colin was ready to fight, y'all. I almost thought they was going to fight. And I'm like, my goodness. I'm like, there is no way that finally we got black people that went to the final six. We got black people that finally stuck together and got to the end of the game. And now that it's all black people up in there, the black men trying to fight, I was like, please don't fight. Don't fight, y'all. Don't fight. But basically, within the live feeds Taylor made, Xavier has talked a lot about the fact that Xavier had a brother. This is why it got that deep for them, Taylor May. I'm going to tell you why. So Xavier has a brother who passed away earlier this year. And Xavier's brother who passed away earlier this year has a son. So throughout this entire game, Xavier has let people know on the live feeds that he was on here playing for this money because of his nephew. Because his brother passed away earlier this year, Xavier is playing for the money in order to help his nephew be able to go to college and, be able to do for his nephew. Which I think is really hypocritical because Tiffany was on here playing for her son and they didn't care about that. Tiffany was playing for her biological son. They still voted her rump out. But meanwhile, they always talked about Xavier's nephew and how Xavier's trying to get the money for his nephew. So Kylan, for whatever reason, disregarded Tiffany playing for her son and started really focusing on the fact that Xavier is trying to be able to play to help his nephew because Xavier's brother passed away. So the reason why Kylan even turned on Tiffany and Hannah was because of this thing about Xavier's nephew. So he was really banking on him and Xavier going far and going to the end together. And that way it would still be money in the pockets. But then also Kylan was like, it still would be money to help benefit a black man. Now, again, I don't know why the black man thing was dismissed because Tiffany was playing for her young black son. Meanwhile, Xavier is playing for his young black nephew. And so that's what made Kylan get hostile when he got voted out. Because again, remember I was telling you that it was the men turning on the women. And so because the men turned on the women on here, I guess there was like this alliance to come through and try to do what's right to help benefit the future of a young black man. And Kylan felt betrayed that, hey, I went this far with your nephew in mind, and then you cut me loose. But that's good. That's good for Kylan. That's what he get. So that's what that was about. Taylor May said, isn't Kylan playing for his brother or family or something like that? No, Kylan is playing for himself. I mean, of course, he's playing for his family. But Kylan was mostly playing for himself. He wasn't playing for any relative. Not that I can recall, unless I missed something along the way. Not that I can recall that Kylan actually had somebody within his family that he was playing for. But if we all going to be honest, any people that come on Big Brother And like all of these people that you see on this picture right here, Taylor May, they were playing the game for $500,000. And I'm sure that they were going to help their families any way that they could with that $500,000. But this season, the prize is bigger. It's $750,000. And so I think it's very interesting that throughout all of these years, Black people got eliminated first, got voted out first. And whenever the cash prize was even more than what it has been in the past, they were able to stick together on code and make it this far. But yeah, so Xavier was playing for his nephew. Tiffany was playing for her son. And then you got everybody else that's kind of just playing for themselves. Of course, anybody that comes in to a big sum of money like that is always going to help out their family. Even if that wasn't necessarily the goal initially, that's what people will do. So that's the reason why I got heated with them whenever Colin was getting evicted. So that's that. Oh, and let's go. Now, see, now that we at, because once Colin left that final four. So it left us with the final three, which was Xavier, Azah, and Big D. Yeah, it was Xavier, Azah, and Big D that was left right there up in the house. And so the way that the last game started, because we in the last week right now, Taylor May, like Big Brother is about to be over on Thursday. On Thursday, this season is going to be over. Somebody going to be on one, it's going to be over. So the way that they do the final part of the competition with the final HOH is that they have a series of 3 different competitions. Since it's 3 people left, they have 3 different competitions. So the first part of the HOH, which let me say, spoiler alert, anybody that has not been following the live feeds, please, you might need to click off now. So let me go back here to my next screen. Give me 1 second, y'all. So as you can see right here, like what I was just telling you, Taylor May, there are 3 parts to the last HOH in which all 3 people get to play in. If you look at this grid that I have here right now, you will see that Xavier won part 1 of the HOH. So whatever the competition was in which Xavier, Azah, and Derek F had to play in, Xavier won. So, you know, Xavier was thinking he had it kind of under his belt. He still wanted Derek F, Big D to win a competition. Because in all actuality, Xavier and Big D been planning on taking each other to the end if they ever got this point. If they ever got to this point, they've been trying to take each other to the end probably since like week 2 or 3. So what they were hoping to do this week was win up the competitions and get Azah out of there. What they failed to realize was that Azah was going to win too. So the first competition, Xavier won. Azah was on the outs. Derek F and Xavier thought they had it up in the bag until competition number 2 came around. Competition number 2 came around, and guess who won that one? Azah. So as you can see, you see the number 1 and the number 2 here on the grid. Xavier won the first one. Azah won the second one. Derek F didn't win any. Derek F running around mad, which I think is funny actually, because he done came through and said for the longest time that he carried Azah on his back, and that the reason why she made it as far as she did up in the game is because of him, and how she ain't pulled her weight and all this kind of things. But meanwhile, when it came to the competitions that matter, Azah won and pulled her own weight. Big D still ain't won a competition yet. So Ozza won the second one. So now with Ozza winning the second one, it's going to be a part 3. Now this part 3 one is going to be between Xavier and Ozza. Because Derek F didn't win either of the first 2 competitions, he is automatically not eligible to play for the third competition. The third competition will be Xavier versus Ozza. Almost like what we saw up in the double eviction. Oh, hey, Shay. Shay, I didn't even see that you had came in. But almost like what we saw. Remember up in that double eviction whenever they was rolling the balls on the grass, TaylorMade? And we saw that it was between Xavier and Ozza to try to figure out who was going to win. And Ozza ended up winning and got rid of Hannah. I think that was crazy on her part, but then maybe it wasn't, y'all. This is how Big Brother is so weird, because I was really pissed off with Ozza, and I'm like, girl, you sealed your own fate. But now Ozza is winning up some stuff. So maybe she didn't do a bad job at all because she got rid of Hannah. Because at the end of the day, Hannah was going to have to go. There was no way that Ozza was going to think that she could win against Hannah at all. Not up in the final competitions. Shay said, Big D is overweight. Those challenges they have is too extreme for him. I agree with that. Even Big D been complaining on the live feeds because I guess whatever this last competition was that Ozza won, they had to get on their knees for something. Because Big D been complaining about the skin and stuff like that melting off his knees and about him scraping his knees and all this. I don't know if they had to crawl. Yeah, I don't know what they had to do. But he been mad and complaining about it. But that's the thing. I will say that Big Brother is a hard game when you are an overweight person. Yeah, he been complaining about his knees. Like, it made me wonder, Shay, because, and I'm only mentioning Shay, TaylorMade, because I know you new to Big Brother. But Shay, you remember in past seasons of Big Brother, where they would be like put up in like a black box or something like that, or a maze where they got to crawl around. It makes me wonder if it was like a competition like that. But I'm just curious about it. It makes me wonder, like, if it's one of those competitions where they were like in like a confined space crawling around. TaylorMade said that damn seesaw challenge. I was rough. Girl, the challenges they have be so difficult. But yeah, I think that these last competitions, or at least the one that Ozza won, was something to do with crawling. Because Derek F is still complaining about his knees for sure. Shay said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna look at the live feeds." Okay, yeah, but that's what we've been talking about. But yeah, so I do agree. Many of the competitions are not built for people who are overweight at all. They're not built for big people. But you have to know that whenever you come into the game anyway. Now, Derek F, Big D, what it seems like is no matter if Xavier wins this next HOH competition, or if Ozza wins the next HOH competition, both of them plan to bring Big D with them because that will ensure them to win. The crazy thing is, though, Big D is still soaking around the house that he ain't won no competition. How does he soak around the house because he ain't won nothing, but in the same breath still say that he done played a better game than Ozza? How does he sulk around saying he ain't won nothing, but then turn around and tell Ozza to her face that he carried her on his back to get here? What? How? Because if Ozza win this third competition and Ozza bring him, then essentially Ozza going to put his big ass on her back and brought him to the final 2. And so the fact is, no matter who wins this next one, if they bring Derek F, they are going to win before Derek F will, because they've won more competitions. They had a better social game. They won when they needed to win. So Derek F, I believe that we are safe to say that Big D is going to get second place regardless. If he don't get nothing else, he will get second place regardless, because the top two people who have been winning these last couple of competitions will bring him. Shay said because he can't win. That's why they wanted to take him to the end. Right. And so that's what we're looking at right now. Teleme said he the same person that doesn't think his chest hairs look like taco meat. Girl, you know something? My thing is, don't get me wrong. I appreciate his confidence. But I be getting tired of seeing him wear the damn muscle shirt. Y'all know that muscle shirt that he be wearing where his titties be out? Yo, why do I even have to talk about this man's titties? But you know the muscle shirt that he have where it don't fit his arms the right way. It's like the sleeves are very long. And so his titties be out, girl. But CBS let that be shown. It's not considered nudity. I guess it's not, even though he got bigger titties than Ozzy. But his titties be out and he be doing whatever he got to do. But he is very delusional, Teleme, because he really think that he's played such a powerful game. And that's one thing too about it. That's why I love that Colin left, because Colin know dang well. Yeah, the muscle shirts. Because Colin know dang well that Big D did not deserve to go this far, but Colin was too busy being anti-woman and being against Tiffany and Hannah, because he knew dang well that Tiffany and Hannah have done they have pulled their weight up in this game, and he didn't want to go against women. Big D is under the mindset that if he wins, girl, hold on. The first thing's off. Like, he has no opportunity to win this last HOH. That's first and foremost. But even before he was ruled out to win this last HOH, he was saying if he won the HOH, he was going to take Xavier with him to Final 2. He was going to leave Ozzy out because he felt like all the women in the jury would vote for Ozzy because she's a woman. He really believed that they wouldn't vote for Ozzy not because she beat him and has more competition wins and was had a better social game than him, but he really tried to say that the women. Oh, his name Big D. Hold on, tell me, I'm not being shady at all. Hold on, let me finish this point, then I'm going to explain to you why. So he really thought that that the women would just vote for Ozzy just because she was a woman and not because she played a good game. But okay, if you look at this grid that I got up here, Taylor Made, if you can see here, we got Derek F and Derek X. Don't forget about the Asian dude, Derek X, that got voted out. He's up in jury. He's on the second column, the third row. So those two had the same name. Both of them were named Derek. So at the beginning of Big Brother, at the beginning of the season, when they all realized that there were two Dereks in the house, they decided to call one Big D and one Little D. So that's why I'm calling him Big D. I'm not being shady. That's what they call him up in the house, on the live feeds, Big D. Not for me throwing shade, but because it was a big Derek and a little Derek. Derek F is Big D. Derek X is the Asian dude, and he's small. And so that's why they did that. So that's why I'm calling him Big D. Yeah, a lot of the times when Big Brother will recruit these people, if the people have the same name up in the house, you have to try to come up with some way in order to differentiate who is who. And so that's kind of what they did. And so it kind of just stuck. It was Lil D and Big D. Shay said, "Did you hear what Colin said to X?" I said, "His Mexican side is showing." Girl, we talked about that at the beginning, Shay, how they was about to fight. I was like, Colin just can't get evicted. He ready to fight. He ready to fight somebody on his way out the door. And that was my thing, Shay. I was just praying. I was like, please, we finally got a season where Black people made it to the end. They made it to the final 6. And now at the final 4, it's about to be a fight. I didn't want them to fight. So I'm happy that they did. And I was like, oh my God. But Colin been getting a lot of heat and a lot of flack on Twitter, through YouTube, through Facebook, all types of social media. They've been giving Kylan hell for what he almost tried to do when he was ready to fight Xavier. And the thing is, people was even saying, okay, if they would have fought, who would have won? And everybody is saying Xavier would have won. Everybody was saying that Kylan was 2 seconds away from getting his jaw relocated, because they said that Xavier was going to punch Kylan up in the jaw while Kylan was trying to run up. And if you notice, even whenever Kylan was trying to leave and then Kylan had came back to go get his big brother cup, Julie Chen was scared. I think Julie Chen asked, why am I cussing on this channel? I can't be cussing on this channel. Y'all, it's so hard to maintain 2 channels. But I think Julie Chen was ready to run up in there because she thought that Colin was going up in there to hit Xavier or something when he was really going back to get his cup. It was just a very brief scene, but he had went back in. And they were saying that Julie Chen might have to run up in there and be the referee. Because at the end of the day, if they would have got the fighting, y'all think Ozzy was going to try to break it up? Or y'all think Big D was going to try to break it up? If they would have got the fighting for real, who was going to break it up? Julie Chen probably would have had to run up in there with her high heels on and her dress, with her dang on hair swooped and all that, trying to figure out what's going on. Because I really do not believe. Well, no, Big D might have tried to break it up, because y'all know that he got delusions of grandeur. So he probably would have thought that he could beat up Colin and Xavier. And so he probably would have tried to jump in the middle. He probably would have. But yeah, Taylor May said he really was about to start a fight. Xavier handled himself so proper. It was real sexy. Come through, Taylor May. Look at Taylor May trying to be attracted to Xavier. Well, Taylor May, Xavier is a lawyer now, which that's one thing. If Xavier does end up winning this season, y'all, I would give kudos to him, because this man is a lawyer. Even though they have speculated that he might be a lawyer or he might be something else, this whole game, he has lied to them, telling him that he is a bartender and a model. So when he came in the house, he didn't want them to be intimidated by him because of his intelligence. He didn't want to be viewed as a threat and be viewed as being a smart player. So he came into the house and downplayed himself as being merely a bartender and a model when he's really a lawyer. So Taylor May, I think that, he would be a good prize for you. He would be a good catch. Shay said Xavier has thrown many comps, so why he's so mad? Right. And Taylor said, yes, she did. Did you hear her keep repeating herself to get to Colin to get his out of there? Yeah, she was like, Kylan, you can pack your bags and come out of the house. Kylan, come out of the big brother house. Kylan, come out of the big brother house. Y'all, Colin was about to set it off. Y'all, they might as well have played Lil Boosie. Set it off in his mother. Set it off. Colin coming through. He about to set it off. Set it off in his mother. Set it off. Colin coming through. He about to set it off. Taylor May said, really? Oh, that's smart. Yeah, it is. But that's the thing. In the past, let me go back to my other thing. In the past, many players, not just black players, but players in general of the game of Big Brother, they will come into the house and lie about who they are, what they know, and things like that. I mean, even with Big D, if we're going to be honest, Taylor May, I think I said that at the beginning. Well, I know I said it at the beginning. Big D is the damn son of Joe Frazier. Smoking Joe Frazier, who was always fighting with Muhammad Ali in the boxing back in the day. Big D ain't came up in there and told nobody that his dad is Joe Frazier. Because if he would have brought his rump up in there saying that his dad is Joe Frazier, then people would have automatically looked at him and said, well, you don't need the money. Why you up in here playing anyway? We about to vote your ass out. I cussed. Y'all, it's hard for me to bite my tongue. But if Big D had came in there and let them know that his dad is Joe Frazier, who is like a heavyweight champion who beat up Muhammad Ali once or twice or whatever, people would have automatically thought that he, that he didn't need the money. Shay said he's broke though, Big D. He is broke, unfortunately. I really think he broke though, probably because he's the baby. I think that Big D is the baby of all of Joe Frazier's kids. So when Joe Frazier was alive and, making all that profit that he made, Big D wasn't born yet. And so, and Joe Frazier got like 15 kids, y'all, allegedly. I don't know how many kids that man got, but he got a lot of them, y'all. He got a lot. Oh, yeah, Big D was my favorite at the beginning. Big D was my favorite. And then, I'm saying allegedly, Taylor May. I know he got a lot. I would say that Joe Frazier easily got more than like 7 kids. More than 7. But I don't know how many in total. But he got a lot of them. And so because all of the other ones are older, they probably got to enjoy the money and the wealth. By the time Big D was born and got up in age, Joe Frazier had died. So if the family didn't manage the money the way that they needed to, then there was a chance that there was no money for Big D. And that's why Big D is a security guard, for real. A security guard, or he worked in security or something. And so it's clear to me that they didn't manage that wealth accordingly, which that's a whole nother story as far as how Black people, even when we have a little bit of wealth, we don't know how to stretch it amongst the generations, But you said, who is my favorite now? Just because the men turned on the women and got rid of Tiffany and Hannah, Azah has been the underdog that I've been rooting for now. I've been rooting for Azah as the underdog because I'm just like, the nerve that the 6 Black people finally make it to the final 6, and then the men just try to start cannibalizing the women. And unfortunately, Azah has been the underdog fighting for herself. So I would be okay for Azah to win. So that's who I'm hoping will win. That's who I'm hoping. I think that would be a major upset to have a Black woman win, Big Brother. The Black men did all this backstabbing and things like that to the Black women once they finally made it to the final 6, and a Black woman still won. That would be beautiful, in my opinion. It would be. It's crazy, Taylor May, because Derek F was my favorite at the beginning, and now I don't even want him to win. I want Azah to win first. If it's not Azah, then I'll be okay with Xavier. But I truly want Azah to win. I want her to upset, because Azah really just, she kind of did float. She kind of just floated her way to the end of the game. Just being herself. But it's crazy because now that it's been down to the wire when she really needs to win, now she has been able to pull out a win. And so I'm appreciative of that. Shay said his mama pays all his bills though. And the nerve of him calling Tiffany. Girl, you still won't get over the fact that he called Tiffany the B word. Taylor May, when Shay was going off about Big D, girl, you gotta hear Shay be dragging Big D. You gotta hear her. Oh my goodness. Even whenever I first heard her dragging him over there on her channel, girl, I was still a fan of Big D. And I'm like, don't do that. I don't like Big D. Girl, Shay be going in about Big D. And she mad because he had called Tiffany the Bees. Oh, yeah. I did see Shay. Oh, that's one thing too, Taylor made, which is another spoiler. That now that they made it to the final 3, they did get to have video messages from home. So basically, when you make it so far in the game of Big Brother will send a little bit more of encouragement in order to help you win. And they will send video messages from your family. And Big D's mama sent the video message and told him to stop cursing so much. Which I'm thinking that's probably going to be something that we'll see on the episode tonight, on Big Brother tonight. Taylor May says she made me cry talking to her parents. Which one? You talking about Azah? I saw where Azah, her parents talked to her, and I liked how Azah's parents were presented on there, and so that's another reason why I kind of want Azah to win. Because y'all, ain't it slick like Coming to America? Yeah, Azah, okay. But ain't it slick like Coming to America? You know, Coming to America when Prince Akeem them had came to the United States to gain wealth or whatever. It's like the total reverse, because Azah's parents came to America to gain wealth. But imagine if Azah win this much money and be able to help. And not only that, but Azah got like so many different brothers and sisters, because like her grandpa was like had so many wives and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if anybody has more family who might deserve the money more, it is Azah. It is. Shay said, I'm voting for America's favorite house guest as Derek X, which Derek X is Little D for Taylor May. I already gave all of my America's favorites to Tiffany. I voted for Tiffany, I think it was Thursday night. No, Friday, because they had the Friday episode. So Friday night, I gave all of my votes to Tiffany, because I think that Tiffany is the mastermind behind all of this. And I would feel horrible if she just left and didn't get anything extra, because none of them would have got this far up in the game if it were not for her. If it were not for her, none of them would have. And so I gave my votes to Tiffany. I did. So wait a minute. Taylor Made. So do you watch? Yeah, it's free. You vote through your cell phone. Shay, do you know how long the voting is open? Do you know how long the voting is open? I know you text. You just send the text message, Taylor Made. Hold on, my phone right here. Hold on, let me see. Because, girl, I don't want to give you the wrong number to text to now. I don't want to do all that. So, in order to vote for the house guests, let me see. Oh, wait a second. I could vote every day? Yeah, I thought I was only... Yeah, I only voted the one day. I voted 10 times the one day, and I thought I was done. So I voted this much on Thursday, and didn't even vote no more on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I don't wasted my votes. But yeah, it's 97979. Yeah, so you just text the name of who you want to that number, 97979. Yeah, Shay, I ain't been voting every day, so I done messed up on my votes. Y'all, let me go ahead and give me some votes while I'm over here talking to y'all. Y'all can't believe I did that. I don't know why. I don't know why I forgot to keep voting. I don't know why. But yeah, that's how it is. So dang, Tiffany done lost about 20 votes because I didn't vote. Tiffany done lost about 20 votes in the last 2 days because I didn't give my 2 votes. But yeah, so that's how you vote, Taylor May. You text the name to that number. But yeah, I mean, we get into the final haul. But again, as y'all can see, this collage here shows the countless black people who have played the game of Big Brother and were targeted at the beginning. And now we finally know. The show started in 2000, y'all. I think it was 2000. So from the year 2000, whenever I was in middle school, y'all, from the time that I was in middle school up until right now, there has never been a black winner, but there will be a black winner this year. And that's powerful to me. So I'm happy about it. The cookout did that. I hope that Ozza wins just because on the strength of her being a female and because she don't really have to fight for her own life these last few competitions. But if Xavier wins, I'd be cool with that too. Oh, Shay, you been watching since then? Yeah. And it's like, that's crazy for it not to be any black people to win. But y'all, this year, guaranteed it's going to be a black winner. And I'm absolutely okay with that. This year, we're going to have a black winner to this dang on game, y'all. And look at Taylor May. Taylor May, I really do appreciate your participation and your support. Shay, Taylor May never even watched Big Brother up until I started doing these reviews on here, and me doing the reviews made her interested in seeing what the game was about. And so I think Taylor May might be a new converted Big Brother fan, all because, she would come over here to listen to my reviews and help moderate my channel. And now she likes the game, and now she's trying to vote and stuff. So yeah, it's a great thing. But either way, I think I'm done about my commentary. Did y'all have any other questions or whatnot? Because I think I'm okay with the commentary that I've given. And y'all, we just got to see who the winner is. Shay. Oh, Shay, I want to ask you. Shay, after the... Oh, dang, Shay, you on the other side of the world. I said the world. You on the other side of the country. Because Shay, I would love to have some type of panel. I'm going to try to see if I could put something together. Because I do want to have some type of panel on finale night. That Thursday night when there is actually a winner coming up this Thursday, I want to do some type of panel. And I've been trying to reach out to other people to see who would be interested in doing the panel. It come on tonight, Taylor May. I think it's an episode. I think it's an episode tonight. Yeah, it is. It's an episode tonight. If you on the East Coast, the episode should come on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got an episode tonight. I think it would be an episode on Wednesday, and then the finale would be on Thursday. And I want to do a panel of people who enjoyed the game. So Shay, if you are available, if you can come, that'll be good. But then it's a couple of other Big Brother fans that I network with on Instagram that I may try to reach out to see if they may be available. The biggest thing about, yeah, it was messed up, Taylor May. It was. And I think it was messed up because like of some type of award show or the Met Gala or something. That's the thing. Whenever they have like the Met Gala and all this other celebrity stuff, it will mess up the way CBS is able to air the show because they have to give precedence. Like even last Sunday, Big Brother came on like 38 minutes late because football took over. So yeah, that's how it is sometimes. Yeah, no, Shay, Taylor Made is a new Big Brother fan, so she ain't got Paramount Plus. I think that she just watched Big Brother through just the regular cable. Only the diehards get Paramount Plus, but we gotta let Taylor May crawl before she could walk now. She crawling now, Shay. She gotta crawl before she could walk. Before we start throwing the Paramount Plus and the live feeds and all this other stuff. Let her get her vote first. Let her vote first, Shay. Before we try to talk her into all that. But yeah, it's so much stuff. Yeah, Taylor May, it comes on CBS. But yeah, last week though, Big Brother came on like 38 minutes late because football. Anytime football is on CBS and the football game goes into overtime, that totally shifts the programming on that station for that night. So last week, where Big Brother was supposed to come on at 8, because the football games ran late, I think it was almost like 8:45 by the time Big Brother came on. What's good, Betty White? Thank you for joining. I think it was almost about 8. Yeah, it was about 8:45 before Big Brother actually came on last Sunday because of the football games. So sometimes the schedule can be off because of different things like that. But I think because this is the last week, the schedule is going to be pretty steady and consistent. Oh, Betty White, we just finished talking about that. I said that I gave all my votes to Tiffany. Shay is in here. Victoriously, Shay is in here. She gave all of her votes to Derek X. And Taylor May, who you giving your votes to for America's Favorite? We just actually in this live, we taught Taylor May how to place her vote for America's Favorite. We told her how she could send her text messages to get her vote in. But Taylor May, who you gonna vote for? You didn't tell us, I don't think. Betty White, you think Big D gonna win? No, Big D ain't gonna win no America's Favorite. Ain't no way he the favorite. Okay, so Taylor May says she's gonna vote for Tiffany. Betty White, why you think Big D? So Betty White, did you vote for Tiffany too? Wait, Betty White, don't tell me y'all that Betty White done gave all of her votes to Big D. Where's Shay? Shay, where you at? You still up in here, Shay? Shay? Oh, okay. Shay can't stand Big D. So if you done gave all your votes to Big D, I can only imagine what Shay is gonna say. I'm confused. Shay, I think Betty White is saying that she gave her votes for America's Favorite for Big D. That's why I was calling you. Because Betty White done showed up towards the end and she was asking about America's Favorite. And I think Betty White is telling us that she been voting for Big D. It's crazy. If Betty White really done been voting for Big D this whole time, then I'm going to say this. Betty White is not only a troll on YouTube, but she a troll in real life if she is over there giving her votes to Big D. Betty White said, I like him and I know he won't win the game. So might as well get America's favorite. I like him too, but I don't know that he deserves America's favorite. Come on now, because he wasn't the favorite. The favorite at doing what? What was he the favorite at? Betty White trolled us on the YouTube streets, and now she telling us that she trolled us in real life because she over there voting for Big D. I can't, Betty White. And not to mention, even during competitions when he should have been playing to win the Power of Veto or the HOH, he was already going for the cash prizes, Betty White. Big D probably about to walk away with at least 10,000 extra dollars, because during the competitions when everybody else was playing to win the power, he was playing to take the money because he was protected by the cookout. So why he need to be America's favorite? But no, Betty White, you entitled to who you like. Betty White. Girl, Betty White. Shay said he got enough money, sis. Betty White said he's smart. Oh, and y'all like my video if y'all haven't. Betty White, you know, I don't have no problem with him, but I'm just like, is he really deserving? I'm really about the person who played the best game. And I mean, yes, Derek F makes me laugh, but I don't know that him making me laugh is worth him having the money. Tiffany got a son that she trying to raise. She need that money to help with her son. Who Derek F need the money to help with? Who? Well, maybe his mom. Maybe his mom, but his mom was dating Joe Frazier. So I would hope that his mama got left off okay from Joe Frazier. But I don't know, y'all. Shay said he's Shady Boots, man. He is. He really is. But yeah, y'all. Well, this has been at about an hour. So I'm going to get off here. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I really appreciate Shay, Taylor May, Betty White, anybody that's been up in the bushes that didn't drop down, for enjoying the conversation. I'm going to try to potentially try to put a panel together for the finale night. And then we'll just have to wait and see. Yes, Frazier is his father. Betty White, you didn't know that? Big D is the son of Joe Frazier. No, that's his daddy. That's not his stepfather. That's his daddy. That's what we were just talking about at the beginning of this live. I was saying that I think he is the baby. Oh, you off work, Shay? Okay, I'll let you know. I will. Well, when Big Brother first premiered, they didn't say that Joe Frazier was his stepfather. They said that was his father. But I mean, I could do a couple of Google searches to see the truth in that. Oh, and for everybody else too that saw my video about the COVID scare, they did have a COVID scare. They did take COVID tests. The results were never spoken about on the feeds, not that I could be able to catch. And even whenever I went to Twitter to try to see what Twitter was saying about the COVID, I wasn't able to get any information. But what I do know is that they ended up eating again, and you know, it seemed like they got the taste back. So I don't know what all that was about, but I was just telling you that they were talking about that on the live feeds and that Twitter was talking about it. Yeah, that's his blood. That's his blood father. That's what I was saying, Betty White. Betty White. Why I called you Betty White? Betty White. That's what I was saying. I think Joe Frazier got like at least 7 kids. You know, even Muhammad Ali got a whole lot of kids. When you actually think about the monumental black men from like back in the day, like the Joe Fraziers, the Muhammad Alis, the Malcolm X's, they have a lot of kids. They have at least 5. And I think Joe Frazier, I think Joe Frazier got about 14 of them, but I have to Google it because I don't want to be lying on that man. May he rest in peace. I ain't trying to lie on him, but he got a lot of kids because back then these men were like, had groupies and, all these people that liked them or whatever, or were fans of them because of the sports that they played or because of what they did politically. And so they ended up making babies all over the place. And Big D is one of the babies that was made, from what I know of. But I have to fact check it. But either way, y'all, please thumbs up the live. Thank y'all for joining me over here. Again, these are the members of all the Black people who have played the game of Big Brother and were sold short. And now this year, y'all, with the cookout, we will finally see the first Black member, the first Black winner of Big Brother. That's great. Shay said Joe Frazier has 4 kids. 4? I thought he had a lot more than that. So how is Big D his child in? 3 boys and 1 girl. Is Big D one of them, Shay? Now I'm confused. Is Big D one of them? Yeah, thank you for coming, Betty White. Thank you. I'm late because I should have did a recap last week, but last week it was a little bit hectic. But I recapped last week and this week. Okay, so Big D is one of the kids. Oh, okay. His last name is Frazier. That's why they call him Derek F. His name is Derek Frazier. That's why we saw Derek F and Derek X in the house. Derek X is the Asian guy. Big D is Derek Frazier. And like even with him being up in the house, he didn't let them know that his dad is Joe Frazier for a good reason. Just like why we had Xavier up in there, not letting them know that he's a lawyer. A lot of the times you have to go up in there and sometimes you have to downplay your education, downplay your profession. I mean, heck, even Hannah didn't let them know how smart she really was. She just told them that she was a college student, but she really did not tell them about how much she has really accomplished in her life and how smart she is. So yeah, a lot of times you have to come in and keep some of your information under wraps in order for you to get further in the game. No, Tiffany wasn't fooled at all. That's why I think Tiffany should be the favorite player, Betty White. That's why. Tiffany wasn't fooled by nobody. So she needs to be the favorite player. But yeah, well, let me go ahead and cue up my music. She did pull this card. But it was a lot of them that pulled this card for sure. But yeah, I'm queuing up my music, y'all, so I could take us out of here. Thank y'all for being supportive this whole season, y'all. We're going to have another recap to go, and then we're going to be done with the season. And I done made it through a full Big Brother season and been consistent. That's right. Thanks God. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Don't stress. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.